Right, so here we are back, and by we, I mean me and this wheel right here. We haven't had to spin it for a very long time, but given the fact that I haven't played the game for 6 months, we're going to have to spin him again, aren't we? That's right, I am back. I am back with Newcastle in the Wheel of Misfortune. The wheel's staying here now. It's ominous, I know. It's just going to be a constant reminder that if I lose, I have to spin it. And today, given the matches that we have, I think we're going to have to, because we have Charlton in the first game in the Carabao Cup, 4th round, and then we have Manchester United, who are 3rd in the league. Now, to remind you, as it's been a long while, we'll have a look at the league table. We're on 24 points. We've managed to remove ourselves from this relegation battle, as we're now 9 points away from relegation, but we are only 1 victory away from the European spots. Given the fact that we are Newcastle, I want to be in the European spots. Without further ado, let's get into this game against Charlton, the first game after the World Cup, which was won by France, by the way. Let's get into it. So here's the team we're going to be taking to Charlton. It's Carabao in goal, Manculio, Byrne, Botman and Lewis at the back, Longstaff, Anderson and Willock in the midfield, with Almiron on the left, St Maximin on the right and Callum Wilson up top. We're going very front heavy, but given the fact that Alexander Isak and Ryan Fraser are our 2 best attacking players right now, we want to give them a bit of a rest. We don't really want to risk them in this game. It also might give an opportunity to get some form back in these front 3 of Wilson, St Maximin and Almiron. What we've also done, if you've been watching the previous episode or remember the formation in the previous episode, we flipped it. We've made Lewis more attacking and St Maximin more attacking. I feel like it suits us a little bit better in this game, and I've made it so we're more attacking. We're not working the ball into the box, we're passing into space. We're being very positive in this game because it's Charlton. We're going to try and get 2 or 3 goals, preferably more in the first half, so then we can bring on off a couple of these boys, bring on a couple of others, and really get some match sharpness back into these boys after being so long away. So let's kick Charlton's ass. There's a few things to address. A few people want to leave the club, a few of which being like John Joe Shelby wants to leave, a couple of others want to leave. I think Lascelles wants to leave. Wood wants to leave the club. So we've got a few people wanting to leave, and which isn't good for us at all. That's also not very good for us, as Charlton have the first big opportunity of this game, as we're really struggling to get it away, as Wilson manages to pick it up, but that's probably going to be the end of the highlight. I'm hoping not, but it seems to be. But yeah, a few players want to leave, so we've said yes as long as we get the money for them that we want. I think calculating it, we should be getting about 20 million if we do manage to sell those players. God knows at this point. And the other thing is Joel Linton is currently injured. Gameres was actually injured during the World Cup as well, which is also why I've rested him during this game. Trippier was injured before the World Cup, so I've rested him. I just don't want to risk anyone, quite frankly, because I think it's just too risky in this game to risk people, especially when you've got Manchester United next. As we're building this up quite nicely, Manculio's got this ball on the right-hand side. He might try and lay it off to St Maximin. He does, but he gets dispossessed very, very easily, and Charlton end up on the attack yet again. We are not very good right now. We are struggling, and whether this World Cup lag is playing a part, but we are currently 1-0 down to Charlton. Uh-oh. That is not good whatsoever. We're going to drop down to positive, and we're going to kind of berate this team. We've not been good enough in this first half whatsoever. We've barely been creating any chances. And what I might do is I might work the ball into the box rather than passing into space on, just to try and offer up something a bit different. You know, maybe that might be the thing that's costing us. God knows, but maybe this passing into space malarkey isn't working too well for us. Maybe we just don't have the passes good enough to do that, as Byrne manages to head it away back down to Darlow, and we can start building that out from the back. Botman into Willock. Willock with a lovely ball over the top into Callum Wilson. He's got to finish it, and he does. He very coolly finishes it for his 2nd goal of the season. I said this is going to be the match we want for Callum Wilson to maybe get a bit of momentum into himself and a bit of positivity into his game, and he does exactly here. He takes it past the goalkeeper and finishes it very calmly into the back of the net. It's a lovely, lovely ball by Willock. I take off pass into space, and he immediately passes into space. I don't know why, but it seems to work, and we're back level in this game. We go into half-time 1-1, which I don't think would have been good enough if it wasn't for the fact that we started off 1-0 down. Quite frankly, Manculio's just not doing it enough for me, so I'm going to bring on Trippier, someone a bit more experienced into this team. And I'm considering taking Elliot Anderson off for Bruno Guimaraes, bring Longstaff a bit further forward, and then try and get Willock a bit further forward as well. Actually, I'm going to put Longstaff on that right-hand side because Willock's been playing well from this deep line playmaker role, so I don't really want to mess too much with him. But that's 2 changes at half-time. And it was 2 necessary changes. Bring a bit of experience onto this field. 2 people who were recently injured as well. So probably need a bit of game time before this Manchester United game. Jamal Lewis, who hasn't been playing very well lately, puts it into Wilson, who sends it over the bar. It was a good chance squandered, really, by Wilson, who, we referred to it earlier, 2 goals in the entire season is just not good enough for someone of the calibre of Callum Wilson. It's Charlton again with the ball, building it up nicely. We've got this high pressing mentality, but we're not pressing them as much as I would probably like, as they're just passing it around very nicely. But Wilson manages to get the ball. It's put into Almiron, who gets it into Bruno Guimaraes, who plays in Longstaff, who again wastes the opportunity. We can't afford to be wasting opportunities like that. It's not good enough whatsoever. And we're into the 70th minute. I was going to make a change, but we've got a corner here, and we get it into the back of the net. Alan Saint-Maximin, it was really... No, it's not been disallowed. It's been disallowed. What for? What for? We're going to bring Ryan Fraser on, and we're going to switch it around because Fraser's been playing very, very well. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to change things. We're going to completely flip everything around yet again and try and get Trippier further up this pitch. I'm considering taking Burn off for Shah just to try and change things a little bit further in our favour, and at this point go a bit more attacking. I know that doesn't always work in our favour, but we've got to try something here. We're gonna have to try something a little bit different to try and get back into this game. I say back into it, we're drawing, but we don't want this going to extra time whatsoever. It's gonna go to extra time because we're not creating any chances. It's not extra time. I completely forgot how football works. It's penalties. I hate penalties. I don't know if I've made this very clear. I absolutely hate penalties. Callum Wilson's probably our best penalty taker. So I want to start with Saint-Maximin, then go into Shah, then go into Willock, into Wilson, into Bruno Guimaraes is what I want. I prefer Trippier to take one than Longstaff, because Longstaff has been, how do I put this lightly? Shit is what he's been. We're not in a good position here, as we're going to change the camera angle to behind the goal, and Saint-Maximin decides to miss the first opportunity of the... We're going out the cup. We're going out the cup. No, we're not, because Cole Darlow's a fucking legend, is what he is. I can't believe Saint-Maximin missed that opportunity there. Shah's stepping up. Shah's a very good penalty taker, and he showed it right there. Why? Does this count as a loss if we lose on penalties? I think it does, doesn't it? So hopefully we don't lose on penalties as Payne puts it into the back of the net. Carl Darlow, I need you to do me a favour, mate. As Willock steps up, who's our worst penalty taker. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch. That's why I don't want to watch. I may as well spin you now. Sessegnon's coming up. I'm not feeling good. Cole Darlow, yet again. He's an absolute legend. This is why I love Cole Darlow. He's brilliant. Callum Wilson in the all-important 4th spot. He puts it in the back of the net very, very calmly. Gets us back on track. McGrandles, is that how you say it? McGrandles? He's going to miss. No, he's not, because Cole Darlow couldn't save the easy chance. Bruno Guimaraes. Now, Bruno Guimaraes, decent. He's cool, calm, and collected, and that is why. Right, we are in prime position here. Carl Darlow's going to save this. We're all going to be calm. Quite frankly, I'm going to take a drink. We're all calm here. Everything's fine. I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking at all. We got Manchester United next. I've not got to panic. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. Sven Botman, he has never let me down. Sven Botman has never, ever let me down, and he doesn't yet again, people. Sven frickin' Botman. Come on, Darlow. You've saved 2, you can save another one. Quite frankly, this should be easy for you, Darlow. These players, it's Charlton. It's Charlton Athletic. It's Charlton Athletic, and they're going to beat us. Ryan Fraser's never let me down. He's been the star of this entire series. Come on, Ryan Fraser. Oh my God, I am crapping myself. I'm not going to lie, people. Right, Blackett Taylor. That's too long of a name, right? Come on. Come on, Darlow. Darlow, stop messing around now. Quite frankly, my heart can't take this. This is my first game back. Oh my God. It's going to go to the goalkeepers at this rate. No, it's not. Jamal Lewis is stepping up. Jamal Lewis is useless. He is absolutely useless. Not this time, though. Not this time. Right. Oh, my heart, my body, and my soul can't take this. I'm going to end up in hospital at this rate. It's getting really warm in this. I don't like it. O'Connell is coming up and he puts it in the back of the net. It is 6-6 currently. Trippier. Now, Trippier is someone I actually have a lot of faith in, quite frankly. And that's why. Trippier is a very, very good player. He wasn't going to let me down. He doesn't right there. Right, now, Carl Darlow, mate, I don't want this going 7-7. Because I know who's next. It's Sean Longstaff. And I don't want Sean Longstaff to step up. He's going to the right-hand side. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. He's going down the middle. Right, Sean Longstaff. Prove me wrong, mate. You've been crap the entire game. Please, for the love of God. Yes! Yes, Sean. What that does mean, though, is if they score this, it goes to Carl Darlow. We can't have my goalkeeper take a bloody penalty. We can't do that. Right, Thomas, please miss. Please miss. Carl Darlow is the absolute saviour. We've won the penalty shootout. We don't have to spin the wheel, even though it feels like a loss. Jesus Christ. Going into this game against Manchester United, things are going to have to be a lot better, aren't they? And quite frankly, I'm not feeling very confident. Fuck's sake. Okay, so Matthew Targett joins the unfortunate injury list of John Joe Shelby, Joel Linton, and it's now Matthew Targett. He's out for 2 weeks for pulling his hamstring. He does miss this period, which is going to be a struggle because we don't really have any left backs. And if he's missing that period, it's not good for us at all. Right, so we're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Let's view the draw. It is Leicester versus Newcastle. We get done immediately. Okay, let's finish that. Wasn't expecting us to get done immediately. Obviously, Man City get the easy draw of Preston, because of course they do. It's Manchester City. But we do get Leicester City, who currently in the league, if we look at them, are in 12th position. They are right behind us. They've been doing decently well. They just went to penalties against Middlesbrough, where, look at that penalty shootout. Jesus, Mary wept. That is a lot of penalties being taken. But they did go to penalties against Port Vale as well. So they seem to be penalty merchants, and they went to penalties against Burnley. Basically, what they're trying to say is they're going to go to penalties against us as well, and that's just going to cause me way more stress than I need. Right, so we just had a bid accepted of 500k for this man, Oscar Trejo, I think is how you pronounce his name. Quite frankly, he's a very mid-level midfielder, but quite frankly, he's 34 years of age. And look at these stats. He's very good at this attacking side of our midfield, which I'd say we've got enough in. But I think when Joel Linton's injured, we don't really have that person who I'd say fills that role almost immediately. This person will fill the role. You know, he's got good passing. He's good higher up the field. He's not very good at the tackling side, so he'll very much stay in that like advanced position, that box-to-box advanced playmaker position. And he's cheap, 500k. To spend, and his contract will be very cheap as well. I think it's a good option. All right, so here is the team we're going to be taking to Manchester United. It is Pope in goal, Trippier, Schär, Botman and Lewis at the back, Bruno Guimaraes, Willock and Longstaff in that midfield, with Fraser on the right, Saint-Maximin on the left and Isaac up top. We're going to go a bit defensive today, try that low block, really just try and eke out something from this game. quite frankly, do I think it's going to be enough to beat Man United? No. Do I think we might be able to nick a draw so we don't have to spin that wheel? Maybe. They've gone with a pretty strong squad. They've still got Cristiano Ronaldo, which I completely forgot about. Eriksen puts it into Fernandes, into Anthony. Shaw with an amazing tackle, but it still somehow gets that slimy little bugger of Bruno Fernandes, who puts it in the back of the net. Somehow Bruno still managed to weave his way in here. I don't know how it happened. It just bounced off a Botman and somehow Bruno Fernandes was there. He puts it in the back of the net. That is just incredibly unlucky. I'm not even annoyed at the defensive efforts there because, quite frankly, that was good defending by us. It's just we got incredibly unlucky, which is frustrating to say the least. We go into half-time 1-0. It's not the end of the world, quite frankly. Actually, it's looking like we're probably going to lose this game as things stand, because not much is really changing. But maybe, just maybe, this is the start of something new. As Shaw puts it into Willock, into Trippier on this right-hand side, into Fraser, who's injured, but it's a beautiful ball into Alexander Isak, who misses, and he needed to score that. That's the sort of chance that Isaac is very, very good at taking, and he just doesn't manage to do it. Fraser is fully injured now. That's not good for us whatsoever, as we're going to have to switch these two around. We're going to put Almiron on this left-hand side now. Charles not having a good game either, as we're probably going to put Dan Burn on here, because quite frankly, there's nothing else I can do. I'm considering putting Callum Wilson up top, but yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do a triple change here. We're going to bring on some new people onto this pitch because it's definitely needed. And Almiron's now injured. Oh my God. What the hell has happened here? They're just injuring all of our players left, right and centre. This is ridiculous. We're going to actually bring on Elliot Anderson on this left-hand side, who is going to have to go as an inverted winger instead. This is not good for us at all. I mean, I'm not too annoyed with losing this game, given the fact that we've had 2 injuries in it. Time is ticking very much away. We're going to have to go for a high press and a high defensive line just to try and make up for the fact that, you know, we need a goal currently. We managed to keep Man United out for 80 minutes, bar that one opportunity that unfortunately didn't go our way. But maybe at the end of this, as Wilson, he plays in Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy into Elliot Anderson, who misses the opportunity, and you can't afford to miss that. Right there, we've missed 2 golden opportunities to equalise. If my team ain't going to take it, there's nothing really we can do. I mean, Man United have gotten away very, very lightly, but maybe, just maybe, we've got another opportunity in our books. As Willock's got it, he plays it over to Elliot Anderson. If Elliot can get the ball in, he tries, but he doesn't manage to get it away. But he's got a second opportunity. Elliot Anderson puts it in again, but it's put away, and they're going to go on a vicious counter-attack that's quite frankly going to punish us. They're very attacking side, the attacking prowess has just managed to tear us apart, and I knew they would as well. I knew they would tear us apart the moment they went on that counter-attack. We had 2 golden opportunities to equalise, and we have been punished. We've got Alexander Isak and Elliot Anderson to blame for this loss. That we should have been drawing. At that point, I would have withdrawn everyone back and tried to play out for the draw. But that is a very, very annoying loss. Unfortunately, we didn't take our chances. The whole game plan was to go forwards, soak up a bunch of pressure, and when we get those 1 or 2 golden opportunities, taking them. And we didn't do that, unfortunately, and that's what's cost us. And unfortunately for us, that wheel is going to have to be spun. Right, let's come here, wheel. Let's. I'm going to have to move here. The wheel's taking up a lot of space. Right, let's spin the wheel and see what we get. Centre-back's dream. That's Murph's punishment. Murph, take it away.
So, Bragster, you span the wheel and you've landed on this. Today, you're playing your centre-back as a striker. You can pick the role yourself, any individual instructions, whatever. But today, you're starting centre-back and must play as a striker.
That's right, we have to play our starting centre-back at striker. So that either means for the next game we have to play Botman or Shah up front, which is not ideal. Looking at our injuries, Almiron's out for 3 to 4 weeks, which is not ideal, but Ryan Fraser's luckily isn't that bad. We are losing people left, right and centre, but let's just hope we can get these transfers quickly to replace Almiron, as we have an injury crisis right now and it is not looking good for us. So in the next episode, we do have Southampton and Liverpool. They are literally 2 days apart on the game as well. So I have a feeling not only are we going to struggle against Southampton with the fact that we've got the punishment, but if we don't manage to get some sort of result out of that, we're going to have a punishment against Liverpool. And Liverpool are hard enough as it is. And I shall see all of you in the next video. See ya! Well, that first episode could have gone a lot better, couldn't it? A lot better as well.